For those who are born with the Tiger Zodiac, well, this is the year where you form the tree harmony with the Grand Duke, the Horse Zodiac. Well, this also positions you as part of the strategy allies, where this year you play the role of being the strategy advisor to help the Grand Duke in executing their plan. However, we may have a little problem here because this year you are surrounded by a lot of negative aggression style, confrontations, and their risk of sabotage. So therefore, let us discover what are the potential stars that can help you to flip the game to the auspicious. So let us get started with the inauspicious star, because first of all, you have the star of the white tiger. This is a star of aggressions and intimidations. Well, if you are able to use this for goodness, well, this can enhance your courage, your power of executions, strong recovery energy. But however, if things got overhead, well, this star may causes you to land yourself in injury, bloodshed, and worse, it could lead to surgery. So therefore, this star may heighten up the risk and may inflict physical brute force. So therefore, this star just required you to be mindful over your executions. Keep yourself in cool, keep your emotions in check before you take any action, because you are also being affected by the star of the Sky Warrior. Well, this is the star of confrontations where you think you are acting like a hero, trying to fight for justice, fighting for righteousness, fighting for fairness. Well, apparently, if you are fighting without being backed with proper system, proper evidence, proper research and data, well, you are basically a negative heroism in action. So therefore, this star reminds you to act with data, support with information. So whenever you wanted to fight for something, well, you are well equipped with both sides of physical brute force, confidence. At the same time, you have well supported information and evidence, and this may increase your success rate. Otherwise, you may intimidate and confronting those with the authority, and subsequently may activate the star of the great shark. Well, this is sort of like when you're confronting those who have authorities and basically they are well supported. Well, there are tendency for them to shut you down because you are just like, some cats is yawning around, you try to stir up some issue. So therefore, this demand you to be more intellectual and don't take any risk without proper support or proper research. So therefore, this is not the year for you to take any high risk, no gambling, no shortcuts, no hype chasing. So otherwise, there are risks of you experience financial losses, or worse, may trigger the next one, which is known as the Earth Star. The Earth Star basically a star of disruptions and delay caused by environment. So whatever you have planned earlier, somehow plans may need to change, somehow things may just experience delay. So therefore, you need buffer time and proper backup plans, because there is of either your resources are being jeopardized, or you face some family health issue or household issue which may demand your attentions, and basically this may increase your time to you have to juggle several things at once. So therefore, this is a star that reminds you to have proper contingency planning and be always ready with alternative backup. Okay, next one is the back poking. This is basically a star of jealousy. When people are seeing you shining, somehow they just jealous and they will just try to backstab you, gossiping, spreading malicious claims that try to throw you off the course. So therefore, there is of you being framed, being entangled with all this conspiracy. So therefore, this is more about related to when you are too overshine yourself, and this may attract all these haters trying to throw you off the course. So therefore, as long as you are moving or advancing forward with proper structure, with proper way of doing things, well, you can't be questioned, and this will further elevate you yourself. You're further walking away from all this potential of gossip, because back poking means that they are poking your back. So when you're moving ahead, so you don't have time for that, right? And next one is the star of the flying chase. This is sort of like when gossip turns into slander or defamations, and this may cause us obstacles that everyone try to throw you off course, they try to sabotage you, they try to question you. So this may create a scene of resistance at holding you back. So therefore, you may experience potential of movement being hold back. All this plan, all the key source, key players that you have engaged previously, somehow they may cancel out your order. So therefore, this may be quite a risky for you if you don't have a proper backup plan. Okay, next is the red chamber. This is a star of romance, charm, allure, or basically it will intensify your attraction. So this is the sort of like a star, either it can turn into romantic or it can turn into lust and desire. So basically it just heightens your deeper emotional feeling, your emotional connections. So this is auspicious for those who are already in a relationship. However, when you're surrounded with so many gossip, scandalous, all this potential sabotage, well, I wouldn't recommend you to take risks in terms of your personal relationship, because it may turn up into a gossip or leak it out as news that may, be used for by your enemy to further sabotage you. So therefore, be careful when it comes to your personal private life, because this star may be easily negative activated. Okay. Despite all this negative influence, however, there are still a couple of auspicious stars which can help the Tiger Zodiac to flip the game around. So first of all, you have the study hall. This is a star of intellectual or academic pursuit. So if you are learning something new, you wanted to master certain skill set, or perhaps you are pursuing a higher level of academic or study accreditations, you are trying to gain certain certifications, well, this star will further enhance your ability in terms of your intellectual pursuit. And plus, this star, when you are activating it properly, well, somehow you will gain some wisdom and understanding on how you can learn the rules of the game, because with the right knowledge, you can diffuse any aggressions and turn conflicts into intellectual growth. So therefore, this star may heighten up your ability to understand the rules of the game and how you can use all these informations to your advantage. And plus, if you're smart enough, somehow you will just able to learn how to navigate the gray areas and use it on your advantage, and you may be able to break the patterns of your competitor. So first of all, when you have the study hall together with the white tiger, well, this year you can be strategist, advising yourself with couple of chain actions, step-by-step kind of strategy, help you to seal the deal, increase your success rate. So therefore, instead of brute force, well, you can use a proper strategy to limit or basically to cause certain handicap on your competitor. And together with the Sky Warrior, well, this one will heighten up your ability to confront with evidence. And when you have done sufficient research, you can bring all your data and you can speak with confidence and calm and also precise. When it comes together with the Earth Shard, this may turn into risk management, where you have to learn how to build a proper business setup, business system, backups, contingency planning, and also look for alternative suppliers where you can further increase your success rate in case of one plan for another can be activated. And when this star activate together with the back poking and flying chase, well, this can become your reputation's discipline, because you no longer try to seek for affirmations or validation from other people, try to convince other people. Instead, you know how to practice clear communications and diffuse any potential of gossiping. People try to slander you with all this malicious attempt. Well, you have the proper way of how to turn their words against them. Okay, and also this star will heighten up your ability to remind people over their own responsibility, because sometimes when we are too carried away by our emotions, we may forget about our responsibility. So maybe sometimes you may just need to slap them with a slap of reality, remind them that what are the potential consequences if they are focused more on slandering, gossiping and throw all this gossip. It may tarnish other people's and they can be sued over defamations. Okay, when the study hall combined together with the red chamber, well, this star can become emotional intelligence, because you will start to be aware that most of us may be making decisions based on chemistry when it comes to relationship instead of compatibility. Because remember, chemistry, yes, you may feel something alike, there are certain energy is pulling you together, but if you are building a long-term relationship, then you should be looking for consistency instead of just merely the chemistry connections. So overall, with the study hall, you can turn all this knowledge into intellectual pursuit that will enhance your growth, and you will have better insights on how to make better decisions for yourself. Okay, next one is the star of the heavenly horse. Basically, this is a star of expansion. It could relate to travel, making money through movement, and maybe it's time for you to expand your influence in other territory. So this is highly auspicious for those who are doing cross-border trading. So if you're exploring new market, new platform, well, this is a very powerful star. And for those content creators, well, this star will heighten up your visions, your imaginations. If you are innovating new products, well, apparently nowadays with so many AI tools, I think it's going to be easily help you to materialize, turn your imaginations into reality, right? So therefore, I would suggest if you are the content creator or you are innovator, designer, well, this star is a star that you need to focus to activate. Go for travel, learn some new stuff, explore new territory. Maybe you will be able to gain some new inspirations, learn from different culture, and that may heighten up your sense of imaginations to create some new realm kind of contents or new videos. So therefore, this is highly auspicious for those content creators and business creations. Okay, so overall, you can discover that all the star can be flipped into positive if you're willing to learn, because learning is power. If you want to earn more, you want to win more, well, you need to start with learning. Okay, so let's move to the 4 pillar of destiny, because we may have up to 4 different zodiac based on our year, month, day, and hour of birth. So therefore, let us discover where is the tiger zodiac appear in which pillar of your life and how it influences different aspect of your life. So let us get started with the year pillar. So when we talk about the year pillar, it related to our social circles, our external environment, basically the most external part of our life. Well, having the 3 harmony, apparently it will boost your social expansions. Somehow you will be noticing there's a lot of events, you're being invited to join all these social gatherings. So this is highly auspicious for you to build meaningful connections, look for collaborators, partners where you can learn. And plus with the study hall star, perhaps you can learn something with your classmate, your course mate. So therefore, there are a lot of opportunity to improve or enhance your knowledge. But do pay attention, there are risks of all this, noises, scandal, gossiping. People are gossiping about each other. So therefore, you yourself need to understand where you wanted to position yourself. Remember, small people talk about other people. Big people talk about ideas. So therefore, you need to decide, are you going to focus on the gossip small group of people, or you wanted to talk about ideas? Now, of course, obviously, you have the heavenly horse. Of course, you should be talking about ideas, right? So therefore, now you should know what you need to do. Okay, next is the month pillar. The month pillar governs your career, your business. Basically, is your professional identity pillar. So this pillar is quite critical for everyone. So therefore, since you have the 3 harmony, it will signifies that you have opportunity to meet up more people, work with different collaborators. There are a lot of opportunity to work with other people, and plus you can level up your skill set. But for career professionals, well, apparently this year you may need to learn how to increase your knowledge. Either you need to level up yourself with the next level of accreditations you are looking for. You may need to learn some new skill set. So therefore, you need to figure out what is the next level, the next role demand from you. If you need to learn about management, you wanted to learn about business management or business admin, well, now is the right time for you to think ahead, so you can prepare what kind of skill set you need that help you to increase your role or being promoted to take lead in particular opportunity or role. And plus, you may need to avoid all this the office gossip circles, because there are tendency of people keep backlashing about each other, try to complain, try to fight with the boss, the superior, which may not be that wise for you, because there are sufficient amount of noises in your workspace. So therefore, you need to play on the niche group where you are focused more on growth and level up yourself. For business owners, apparently this year is all about disrupting your internal flow of system, because with so many risks, there are risks of environment disaster. So therefore, you may need to increase the backup, the proper IT facility backups. You need to strengthen or enhance your overall environment setups, the security, the safety. And since there are risks of all this sky warrior, people are confrontative, they are argumentative. So perhaps you can encourage your colleagues, your teams, basically the people that are working with you, to focus more on intellectual pursuit. Instead of arguing, instead of confronting, ask them to propose their solutions. Maybe perhaps that would be wiser for you to do so. So therefore, there are a lot of negativity, but this may also help you if you know how to learn the skill set that helps you to turn negative into auspicious. And for business owners, well, you have the heavenly horse, which signifies that it's highly auspicious for you to expand your market, like cross borders, partnerships, collaborations with bigger brands, because remember, you have the three harmony with the grandeur, means that you can tap into the high net worth connections to leverage on all this big influence. Maybe you can tap into their followers. So therefore, you have a lot of opportunity to expand your influence. Next, let's talk about the day pillar. The day pillar governs your personal identity and also your personal relationship. Well, apparently with the white tiger, it may mean that this year your spouse are more demanding, they are more aggressive. Somehow they just act recklessly. They could be, quite confrontative, because with the sky warrior, they try to, fact find with you, trying to find out, they may be suspecting you over some speculative gossip. So therefore, this year you do need to practice clear and transparent communications, because apparently since you have the red chamber star, which can help you to deepen your intimate bonding, maybe your spouse just needs some emotional affirmations, deepen emotional connections. So therefore, the red chamber star can heighten up your vibes to build a meaningful, deepen connections with your loved one. And plus, you have the heavenly horse and also the study horse star, which means that perhaps this year you can consider to travel together with your spouse, to go to join some new courses, to study something together. Once the both of you let go your own identity, and the both of you fall back to the stage where you are the students, you will start to reduce all your expectations over each other and start to learn more about how you can deepen your relationship, go together, how the both of you can learn something and build a meaningful visions together. So therefore, having all the auspicious star can definitely help you to flip the game around. Okay, last one is the owl pillar. The owl pillar governs your mindset, your ambitions, your investment, your legacy. So first, let's talk about your mindset. Well, apparently this year you're more aggressive. You wanted to build something more meaningful, and maybe you wanted to pursue certain higher level academic study, you wanted to pursue certain accreditations. Well, the study horse star will definitely boost that. But do pay attention when it comes to investment, asset, or anything related to monetary. While apparently with all this negative star, it may heighten up the risk of losing money because of all these speculations. You are easily falling into scams or being pressured to make certain investment. So therefore, those are the potential risks. So whatever things comes to you, you need to activate the study horse star. Start with questions. The moment you know how to questions, because all investors are skeptics. What can go wrong? What can potentially increase the losses? So all these questions you need to ask you yourself. So therefore, this year, study your investment properly, choose strategy and leverage instead of hearsay, being pressured to make all this fear of missing out kind of decisions. Okay, when it comes to children, for the parents, apparently this year you may notice your children, they are more aggressive, they are more driven. So this is the time for you to help them to regulate their emotions, help them to understand why they feel such a pressure to perform. Perhaps your children deserve your time to transfer your knowledge, your experience, your wisdom, to help them to learn better on how they can strategize and channel their energy of aggressions into strategic executions. Okay, when it comes to business owners or team leaders, well, this pillar will relate to your subordinate, your staff, or people under your care. So therefore, you may consider about transfer your knowledge. It's time for you to promote your staff to take on leadership role, help them to channel their passion, their aggressive into executing and build reality. So therefore, those are the opportunity for those who are born with the Tiger Zodiac. Next, let us talk about the strategy, allies, and also the timing. So first of all, the Tiger Zodiac, the Pig Zodiac is your best friend, and somehow this year, they are also growing their influence, and they may be learning more about intellectual pursuit, academic, and also perhaps spiritual or philosophical study. So therefore, you may consider the Pig Zodiac as your study buddy together. And also, you form a tree harmony with the Horse Zodiac, which is also the grandeur of the year 2026. So therefore, when the horse are accelerating their speed to pursue their passion this year, perhaps you can help the horse to cool them down. Let's brainstorm about what are the strategy that we can deploy, how we can move strategically together, because remember, the Tiger Zodiac, you hold the Yang wood element, which is the fuel to fire element. So therefore, you can control how the fire are burned, how to channel passions. So therefore, your role are quite critical. With proper strategies, the fire will burn into long-term sustainable. If the fire burn out easily, well, eventually you may drain out your own energy. And also, you form the tree harmony together with the Dog Zodiac. And as for the Dog Zodiac, somehow this year they are elevating their status. So therefore, you can consider to learn from their network, their connections, their mentoring. So those are the opportunity that you can leverage more for the Tiger Zodiac. And here are the best months for you to pursue all your endeavors, such as January, June, October, November. Those are the months that given you opportunity to expand your network connections, and do pay attention over the month of May, August, November, because they are bound to have some backlash. And yes, November month comes in both good and bad, because sometimes there are auspicious opportunity which may comes together with some negative entanglement. So you need to learn how to gauge the opportunity. Okay, so for those who are not sure about how to read all this stuff, perhaps you can just schedule a sessions with me to help you to craft your battle plan for the year of 2026, because everyone deserve to invest to understand what kind of energy they are born with, what kind of opportunity or hidden skill set that you may yet to uncover, or perhaps for those who are pursuing higher level studies, or perhaps you are considering pursuing your spiritual awakening, you wanted to uncover your guardian angels, your hidden supernatural ability. Perhaps those are the path that helps you to uncover what is lies within your spiritual path. So for those who wanted to study a little bit more about Chinese astrology, well, good news is me and my partners Pauline Cheng and Shermaine Hall, we're the three of us organizing our annual Chinese astrology event known as the Hack My 2026. So therefore, you can find more information in the description below. So if you love what I share, well, please do like this video and subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell notifications icon where you can receive the latest notifications every time I publish more contents. And do visit my website, because some of the contents I may not be able to cover in this video will be updated constantly in my website. So that's all from me, John Lovely. I would like to take this opportunity to wish you all a prosperous and wonderful transformative year of the Fire Horse. 恭喜發財!